Hello, this is Rebecca Wemmers with Arbor Insurance Solutions, your local insurance agent. I have serviced the community for, going on almost 30 years now in the Michiana area and taken care of a lot of families over the years, whether it be auto, home, business, renters, um, any type of insurance you could approach me. Uh, so I thought this would be a good time after COVID to um, take a look at anyone that had business uh, adventures or had thought about starting a business and for whatever reason COVID had um, you know put a damper on the plans for the business. So we're trying to basically re-jumpstart for 2021. Anyone that was in business, is in business, or thinking about business, and talk to you a little bit about, business insurance and possibly some things that banks would be looking at for, getting a loan, etc. They do require business insurance. So I specialize in all different types of business insurance as far as contractors, roofers, restaurants. I do workman's compensation, bonds. Maybe you're a landlord and you have a rental home. We also take care of that as well. So that gives you a little bit of background on me. On myself, I am also bilingual in Spanish. So I have catered to the Hispanic community for all the years that I've been an agent. So definitely reaching out to that um, corner of the market as well. Anyone who is, looking for a bilingual agent, I'm happy to take care of you. So what we want to touch on a little bit is, what is business insurance and why do we need it? Well, basically, business insurance protects you in the event of, let's say there's a fire or a tornado. One of the things that happens is, let's say there is a tornado and your business stops. It's the building's destroyed, your contents, everything inside is destroyed, all of your records, and completely demolishes what you've built, for your family, for your base income. So basically, what business insurance does is it covers income that you would lose, valuable papers, any contents, computers, anything that you would have used in the business itself. It also covers liability in the event that someone were to sue you, basically for, we carry products liability insurance. There are several different types of liability coverages that you could purchase. But one of the things that that people don't really think about when they are opening a business, and it's been a life dream, and here you are, and you've got this idea that's finally coming to life, and the excitement of it all, and the things that we don't think about are, okay, what about an accountant? What about insurance? What about if there's a catastrophe? I mean, in in our in our lifetime, I never thought that we would have a crisis like we did with COVID, but it happened. And so you have to think about, okay, what's my backup plan if there is, a natural disaster? I would say COVID was not considered, one of the natural disasters, as devastating as it was. It's not a fire, it's not a tornado. And so when you're in business, you're also out there liability wise. There are so many different aspects of insurance that need to be covered once you are a business owner, just to protect yourself, protect your personal assets, and to make sure that you can continue the business in the event that there is some sort of natural disaster. So again, some of the things that I do cover, tanning salons, tattoo parlors. I'm just going to go through a list here. And doggy daycares, medical offices. I do daycares for children as well. Welding and cutting contractors. We do bonds. Basically, we also do billiards or pool halls. So there are many different types of businesses out there. These are just a few that I'm just mentioning that I can certainly help you with. So what type of insurance does a bank need if you are looking for a loan? Well, normally they're looking for general liability. You can have employment practices liability as well. Basically, cyber liability insurance, which is a big issue with sensitive information that you're transferring online for your clients. Let's say there's a data breach. You can purchase cyber liability insurance now. And that's really, really important, I think, because everyone's business is, using a computer at some point, not necessarily the entire business is online, but, you do keep records, etc., send emails, and store sensitive information. So in the event that there is a cyber attack or a data breach, you can also purchase that type of insurance. So a business owner's policy is basically for the small business insurance owner. It combines the general liability, the commercial property, and the business income, which we had talked about. And so those business owners that are out there that do not have any type of coverage, this would actually cover all three: your business income, your commercial property, and your general liability. And it just depends on the industry, which type of insurance would work best for you. Now, general liability, just to make it simple, because insurance, let's face it, can be complicated. So let's simplify it. So general liability insurance is basically bodily injury to someone else, or property damage to another person's belongings. Personal injury like slander or libel. You can be sued for those things. So let's say you own a repair shop and you've damaged someone's vehicle while it's being repaired. That is where the property damage to another person's belongings would come into play. So those are things to think about. Commercial property insurance helps you to protect your owned or rented building and equipment that you use to run your business. So let's say a nail salon, for example. You would, let's say you lease the building. Well, you want to cover that personal property inside of the building, which would be, your tables, your equipment that you would use to cure nails, pedicures, things like that. be aware that insurance doesn't cover earthquake or floods. That's very important. And I always let clients know, and I do have them sign off that we did discuss that. But commercial flood insurance is a policy that you would have to purchase separately through the National Flood Program to help you protect your business. So that is very important. And of course, we do have earthquakes in Indiana. It's really strange. Probably, I want to say 12, 13 years ago. I remember waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and the whole house was shaking and I had no idea we were in the middle of an earthquake. And my fan above my bed was tilting back and forth. And believe it or not, Indiana we do sit on a fault line here. So we do get trembles. We do have some activity and it happened just at the craziest time in the morning and there was no warning. But again, had I not had earthquake insurance, none of my belongings for the house or my husband's belongings for the house would have been covered. So that's very important for commercial insurance. There is also what's called professional liability insurance, and that helps cover lawsuits if you make a mistake. It's also called errors and omissions. So that would be like, for example, an accountant that would be doing your taxes and makes a very big error on your taxes. And you are now liable for that. You can sue the accountant for the error that they made, and that the accountant should have professional liability or errors and omissions coverage. So that's something else to think about. Once you have employees, yes, you're required to carry workman's compensation insurance. And if they get hurt or sick from the job, you're responsible as a business owner to make sure that you have workman's compensation in place. One employee is all you need, and you are then required to have workman's compensation, or you should. If you don't, and that person is hurt, let's say you're a roofer and you have a summer hire that comes and wants to just work with you a couple months, and you're a solo worker, you normally don't ask for the extra help, but hey, okay, we could use some summer help. This sounds great. Two sets of hands is better than one, right? So this helper of yours is up on the roof and doggone it, trips and falls, breaks an arm, breaks a leg, paralyzed at the worst. Guess what? If you don't have workman's compensation, you're liable. You're liable for all of the injuries. So that's something to really think about, when you're opening a business and you have employees, to really think about business insurance and liability. It's not all about, the dream. There's a lot of legalities once you do have a business. And it's very important to make sure that you protect your dream and to make sure that you do have the coverage that you need. So with that, the workman's compensation is something that's very, very important. Probably one of the most important coverages I think that you should have, because you can't control what, accidents happen. They really do. And so you need to make sure that you're protected in the event that your employee is hurt or gets sick on the job. The data breach insurance is something that we kind of just touched on a little bit earlier, but basically you would have coverage in the event that a person's identifiable information is compromised, lost, or stolen. So data breach insurance helps to pay for costs to notify those individuals, offer identity theft monitoring service, and create a public relations campaign. So those are the things that would be covered under that type of insurance. There is also a commercial auto insurance that I want to talk about just briefly. And we don't necessarily think about using our personal vehicle commercially, but when you're a business owner, you do. Let's say you open up a florist shop and you have a pickup truck. Well, if you're using that vehicle to deliver flowers to individuals, you're using that vehicle not for personal use, but for commercial. And once you start using it for commercial, if you have an accident during a delivery and you have a personal auto policy, there's a great possibility that you're not going to have that claim paid by the insurance company because you were using it under the business name, especially if you put the business name on the side of the truck. So you definitely want to look into some commercial insurance if you're using your personal vehicle or transporting clients in your vehicle. That would be also another reason you would want to have some commercial insurance. So really, what is the difference between business car insurance and commercial insurance? Well, business car insurance is, again, using it for business purposes other than commuting, but commercial car or vehicle insurance for taxis, trucks, driving instructors, there's a whole array, semi drivers as well. We have delivery vans, even business fleets when there's more than one vehicle. So that would be something that would be more tailored to what the business is, and how the vehicles are being used. So what types of insurance are actually required for businesses? And it just depends on where you are. The laws may be different from one state to the other. Most states do require, again, the workman's compensation, but some states have business insurance by the industry. So depending on what industry you're in. So again, the accountants with the professional liability, they would actually be required. So getting recommendations for types of insurance you may need. Basically, again, this is what I specialize in, and I've taken care of so many families and so many businesses over the years. You have to be a very good listener. You need to know your industry, and I can say that I know my industry very well, and I'm very respected in my community for taking care of people over the years. So if there are any questions that you have, you can always contact me by my website, which is myinsurancegentOnTheGo.com. And my phone number is 574-993-0589. You can call me or text me at that number. And, please contact me with any information that you might have regarding a business idea, and I can take a look and see what type of insurance you may need. Happy to do that. I'm a no pressure kind of insurance agent. I would say I'm a very good listener. So, and by doing that, I do get, many referrals, and really do care about my clients and and their well-being, and I want them to be successful, you know, and I love being a part of that. And I love being a part of the family that gets the first home, or, you know, they have the baby for the first time and they've moved out of an apartment and fixing up the baby room and purchasing a home. Or the 16-year-old getting his driver's license for the first time. That's really, you know, really exciting to be a part of that. So I hope you like my video. And I know insurance is not the funnest thing to talk about, but it does need to be discussed. And for what it's worth, I really appreciate you taking time and reevaluating your business. I hope that I've made some good pointers for you to really evaluate your business. Make sure you have the insurance in place before you have your business started. If you're already in business now and don't have any type of insurance, that's okay too. I can, you know, come in and evaluate at any level of the business, an established business, a new business, a business adventure. I'm happy to work with a small business administration here in St. Joe County. I work with them many, many times in regard to, you know, any type of business questions regarding insurance. And again, thank you so much for listening to this video. And I hope you enjoy the rest of our segments on this for our Jumpstart Your Business 2021. Thank you again.